Hey. I wanted you guys to be able to see more of my very cool poster wall that I have over here, but instead you can really only kind of just see Harry Styles' abs. So, you're welcome. Hey guys. Um, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is very strange. Oh God. I'm big on New Year's resolutions and setting new goals. And one of my New Year's resolutions for this year was to start a YouTube channel, hence why we're here. So, hey, today I decided that I wanted to talk about college because I just got home from my freshman year of college. Well, not just, I've been home for like a month. I had an idea to film a video talking about some of the key things that I learned from my first year of college and maybe try to give some advice. Like the purpose of the video is not to give life-changing college advice, but just to kind of share my experience, and if it helps somebody else, then that's great. Yeah, so I'm really just here to yap about my first year of college. I kind of had the idea to turn this into a series called Notes From, which is basically where I share the key lessons that I've learned from different life experiences and different time periods of my life. I kind of just want to be able to share the things that I learned because I'm really big on life lessons and taking notes of the things that life teaches you as it happens because we are here to learn from our experiences as human beings. I'm actually seriously losing my voice, you guys. Because I like documenting my life lessons, I thought why not be able to share that with people? So that's kind of the purpose of this, and hopefully it's helpful to you guys. So let's get started because this intro was entirely too long. At the end of the day, college is still just school. I remember going in and being very nervous about the academic portion of college and not being entirely sure that I would be able to handle it and not knowing what to expect. I'm going to say this throughout the video, but college is what you make it in every single aspect of the phrase. If you show up to your classes and you do what you're supposed to do, and you do the assignments and you do the readings and you pay attention, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be in a good spot. Every once in a while, you have a bad professor or the workload is crazy and your schedule is insane. But at the end of the day, it's still just school. And school doesn't have to be hard. Obviously, life definitely life's in college. It can definitely get intense. Um and college is all about balancing, I think, being an adult and a functioning human being in society while also being a student, which can definitely make it difficult. But school doesn't have to be hard. And I think it kind of comes down to applying yourself as much as possible in order to get the grades that you want. I I just wanted to say that and get that out of the way because I think kind of establishing the fact that college, yes, you're there for academics, you're there to get the degree, but that the academic portion of of college doesn't have to be as intimidating as you might think it is. I think that was a big deal for me in kind of realizing where I need to put my priorities and also kind of lessening my anxiety about the college experience overall. Definitely ask for help, collaborate with your classmates, and just apply yourself for sure. And I think that the academic portion of college is nothing to worry about. College is more about the people that you're meeting and the network that you're building than it is about the actual lessons that you're learning in your classes. For most people, take this with a grain of salt because obviously, if you're studying to be a doctor or something, please pay attention. You're learning the fundamentals that you're going to need to go on to save people's lives. So obviously, pay attention in your classes, engage with your studies. Also, hopefully you picked something to major in, something that you're interested in and something that you care about. So obviously you're going to hopefully want to engage in your academics anyway. But college is really about connecting with people. I love how the lighting keeps changing because the sun is just doing her own little dance outside. I don't know. What was I talking about? College is more about the network that you're building. I had this conversation several times throughout my first year of college where it's like we are trying our best to focus on networking laterally, meaning that we're networking with the people that are next to us in our classes, in the same clubs and organizations, in the same grade or maybe a grade above us, grade below us, whatever. You're developing relationships and connections with the people that are around you, and that can be a huge deal. You never know when somebody's going to stumble across something that maybe doesn't fit them, but they're like, oh, you know who would be great for this opportunity? Kelly. And then, they'll send it to you, they'll help you out with something, they'll collaborate with you. I think it's great to have a really good reputation in college and like not just having a reputation as like a good student, but also having a not just having a good reputation as a student, but having a good reputation as a person in general. When people know that they can come to you and rely on you and depend on you, when they know that you're generous with your resources, with the things that you have access to, with the people that you know, if you have a connection and somebody's looking for someone to help them with something specific, and maybe you can't do it, but you know someone who can, like people remember those things. And I feel like the way that you build your relationships is a huge factor in college. I think that it can be very intimidating if you're an introvert to like go into college because you're surrounded by entirely new people. You're going in an unfamiliar environment. And it's very intimidating to kind of be like, I don't know what's going on. Like genuinely, I don't know what's happening. It's like when you get to college, like your first week of college, everyone is in the same boat as you. Everyone is just as scared. Everyone is just as intimidated, even if they're not saying anything. It is scary to be in a new environment with new people and not know anyone. I personally went to college 10 hours away from where I live. So I was like fish out of water. I was like, I have no idea where I even am right now. And it was scary. It was scary and it was intimidating. And I was like, girl, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who. First of all, I will say that I personally define myself as more of like an ambivert, meaning that I can be extroverted and I can be outgoing. And once I'm comfortable with people, like I'm good. Once I'm comfortable with you and I trust you, like I'm chilling. My whole personality is gonna come out. But it kind of takes me some time to get out of my shell. And it's also a challenge for me sometimes to kind of go out of my way to build connections with people. So it's difficult and I love like my quiet time and like my personal space. And so sometimes there's a lot of pressure in college to like socialize and be outside and be doing all the things, and we'll get to that as well, the social pressures in college. But like, girl, sometimes I just want to be in my bed. I want to be in bed watching Criminal Minds and minding my business. I don't want to talk to anybody else. Like, please. And if you're introverted, it can be very difficult and very intimidating. But first, take advantage of the newness of college, the freshness of college, literally. I have a very lovely group of amazing friends, and we connected in like the most random ways. And I adore those girls. We've been friends since literally welcome week, and they're phenomenal. And literally just by like going out of my way to introduce myself to people, I was able to like build those relationships. And it's weird. It's weird to go up to someone and be like, "Hi, I'm Kelly. I'm from wherever. Where are you from? What are you majoring in?" It's an intimidating situation, especially if you're not used to doing that. But just remember that everybody else is scared too, and it's okay. I love that quote that's like from Euphoria, and I don't know who's saying it, but she's like, "You feel stupid?" And then the other girl's like, "I did, and then I chose not to feel stupid." That's literally what college is. You have to choose not to feel stupid and just go out of your way to do the things that you want to do in order to get the things that you want. Because another big life lesson from college, Everything will not just be handed to you. You have to go out there and get it and put yourself in the position to be able to receive the things that you want to receive. Because if you don't, exactly. Every social interaction isn't going to be perfect. You're not going to meet people and like immediately be like, oh my God, we're best friends. Like, it just doesn't happen in most cases. It just doesn't happen like that a lot of the time. And that's okay. We're also going to talk about being selective later on in this video. And you're going to realize when you get to college that there's a lot of people that you don't like. There's going to be people that you don't like, people that you don't share the same values with, and that's completely okay. You don't have to force yourself to be in a friend group with people that you don't actually like. You're wasting your time and your energy. And there are people out there that are going to respect you for who you are and make you feel comfortable. Take advantage of, like, I'm going to call it an isolated area. Example, instead of being like out on the quad and trying to find some random person like on the yard or the lawn or whatever you call it at your school, that big patch of green grass, you know what I'm talking about. Instead of being out there and trying to find a random person to strike up a conversation with, become friends with the people that are in your classes. If you have the same classes, you probably have a similar major or some sort of shared interest that's putting you in the same class. Take advantage of those spaces where you have common ground with people. And that's why people emphasize like joining clubs and organizations and sports very early on in college, because that helps you find community based on things that you already like. So definitely take advantage of those common spaces, those isolated areas. Social media's version of college versus my actual college experience. I would say that in general, society has this like weird over romanticization of youth and what it means to be young in general. If you go on TikTok and you type in college experience, you'll probably see a whole bunch of people at parties and like running around and doing all this super fun stuff and like constantly being outside and hanging out with these big groups of people. And it's just like, that's just not how it is for a lot of people. And that's completely okay. Like, you don't have to feel the societal pressures of what it means to have a college experience. A lot of people try to say, college, those are the best 4 years of your life. Like, what? You're completely entitled to having your own college experience that is fulfilling to you personally. Let's look at it this way. People say that in college, you should say yes to everything. And I agree with that to a certain extent. I feel like yes, college is absolutely your time to get outside of your comfort zone, to try new things, to meet new people from a variety of different backgrounds, and to really just like put yourself out there. So definitely like get outside your comfort zone. But if you try something and you don't like it, don't do it again. Let's say, for example, you go to a college party, like your first week of college, and you go to that party and you're like, actually, I hate this. It's overstimulating, it's hot, it's loud. Everybody's like throwing up because they're drunk. It's crazy. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this again. You don't have to do it again. You don't have to go party again just because you feel like you're not getting the college experience if you don't go party. I know myself very well. I don't like to be outside if I don't have to, and definitely if I don't want to be outside. So I didn't party. My first year of college, I just didn't. I was like, I don't care to be outside right now. I don't care to be in a loud, noisy, hot room with a bunch of people that I don't know. And I feel like figuring that out about myself was really helpful because it helped me feel less pressure when people were posting things on social media. It's like, I know I don't want to go. I know that I don't care. I know that I would rather be in a room with my friends playing Uno or watching a movie than going out to some random house party. I don't even know where the house is. Hello? It's understandable to feel the pressure of like wanting to do something because you want to have the college experience, but You need to figure out what you want to do. You don't have to let other people define what a successful college experience is for you. You have to define that for yourself. I would say that I had a very successful first year of college. I did well academically. I made friends that I actually love and appreciate, and I think they love and appreciate me back. I overall had a good time. I was a part of some really cool events with some really cool people. I networked. I built networks that were interesting and stimulating to me, both career wise and like what I want to do in the future, and like actually making friends and like building genuine connections with people. So I would say that I had a really great freshman year, and I'm very grateful that I can say that. And I feel like a lot of the pressure just comes in when you try to appease other people's definition of what a successful college year or college career or college experience looks like, instead of just trying to lean into what you actually want to do. This is your time where like you're going to figure out a lot more things about yourself. And, people like to ask the question, well, who are you? Or we like to ask that question to ourselves. And it's kind of a question that we're always answering, right? Because we're always changing and like evolving and growing as people. And like our likes and dislikes are going to change. You're going to find, like I said earlier, that there are things that you don't like. There are people you don't like. There are things that you prioritize over other things. And that's completely okay. Lean into you and not what everybody else is doing. Don't feel scared about pivoting or changing your path or feeling like, you're doing something wrong just because your personal college experience doesn't look like what you see in the movies and TikTok and whatever. Do whatever feels best for you. And I think that'll save you a lot of headaches and a lot of stress. And I hope that's not like super self-explanatory. like I hope that that's not like super obvious, but I understand that like peer pressure and societal pressure is definitely a thing and it can be very stressful at times. So that's, I'm just here to say that it's okay. It's okay for you to do what you want to do, and it'll be all right. I promise it'll be all right. I feel good. I feel good about my first year of college. And I hope that maybe, hopefully, you gathered something from this video that was helpful or interesting. And if you did, let me know. If you guys want more stuff, let me know, girl. Yay! First YouTube video. Come on. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, I guess. I will see you guys next time. Bye.